I want to say something today that might sting a little. You can have the best nervous system regulation routine on the planet, breath work, cold exposure, perfect sleep hygiene, every technique done exactly right. And if you're doing it completely alone, most of it won't stick. Not for long. Maybe not at all. I know that because I lived it. I've been rebuilding a nervous system for over 3 decades, brain injury at 20 years old, and in that time, I've tried almost everything. Some of it worked immediately, some of it took years to click. But there's a pattern I didn't actually see until pretty recently. The practices that held, the ones that became permanent, that I still use today, weren't necessarily the most effective techniques on paper. They were the ones I did around other people, even loosely, even just knowing someone else doing the same thing on the same day, going through something similar. And the stuff I tried to white knuckle completely alone, no one checking in, no one to talk to about it, just me and a routine in a room. That's the stuff that quietly disappeared. Not because I failed at it, not because I lacked discipline, because it was never built to survive isolation in the first place. I want to slow down on that because I think a lot of people carry a hidden shame around this. They think I had the right tools and I still couldn't make it stick. So something must be wrong with me. I don't think that's true. I think something was missing from the equation the whole time, and it wasn't willpower. Here's a part that changed everything for me once I actually understood it. Regulation isn't purely psychological, it's relational. Your nervous system doesn't just respond to breath work and cold water and sleep schedules in a vacuum. It's constantly scanning for safety. And biologically, safety has never meant alone in a quiet room doing everything correctly. Safety has always included other people, their presence, their proximity, the simple ancient signal of not being the only one. There's a term for this, co-regulation. It's the idea that our nervous systems actually borrow stability from each other. A calm person near you can help regulate your state. A person going through the same thing you are, even from a distance, can anchor you in a way that solo effort just can't replicate. So when you're doing everything right, but doing it in isolation, you're not failing at the technique. You're running the hardest possible version of it. No backup, no mirror, nobody there to notice when you quietly stop showing up for yourself. Think about how this shows up in real life. Someone starts a morning routine, strong for 2 weeks, then life gets hard and it fades. Not because the routine stopped working, but because there was no one there to notice it slipping, and no one there to make the next day easier just by being present for it. This is why support groups work even when the content is basic. This is why accountability partners outperform apps. It's not because the information is better, it's because the isolation is gone. So here's what I want to leave you with. If something isn't sticking, a habit, a practice, a routine you know is good for you, the first question isn't what's wrong with my technique. The first question is, am I doing this completely alone? Because you can perfect the technique for years. If the isolation stays, the technique won't matter. I lost a lot of time learning that the hard way, and I don't want the same amount of time to cost you. This is exactly why I built the Comeback Campfire the way I did, not as another course full of more techniques to try by yourself in a room. The people in it are the actual mechanism, not a nice to have layered on top of the content, but the thing that makes the content work at all. If you've been doing the work, real work, consistent work, and it still feels like none of it holds, I gently push back on the idea that it's the work that's broken. It might be the isolation underneath it. You don't have to figure this out completely by yourself. That was never actually the plan for any of us, not evolutionarily, not now. come find your seat at the fire. There's room. SandroMarino.com, and I will see you there. Let's go.